Basketball fans, what's going on? Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, as always, Jimmy Crowther, breaking down all the latest NBA news and NBA rumors. And on today's show, we're going pretty heavy on the rumor side of things. And we're going to start off with the Defensive Player of the Year and potentially the MVP of the league, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, he's going to be a free agent in 2021. Everybody knows this. It's on everybody's minds. Everybody's thinking of it in the back of their minds as they take on the Miami Heat in the second round. But if the Bucks cannot advance past the second round, there's a lot of people that think Giannis could look to move on in 2021 and potentially before that. Now, if Giannis says, hey, I'm gone in 2021, Bucks, please just go ahead and trade me, get me out of here, and you guys can get something for me. Well, there's one Eastern Conference exec that thinks he could join up with the team he's playing right now in South Beach with the Miami Heat. Now, game one, the Miami Heat actually took this game pretty easily. A 40-point game from Jimmy Buckets, who we'll talk about a little bit later in the show, just absolutely dominated the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis did not want to even guard Jimmy Butler, even though he is the Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis had a double-double, nearly a triple-double, but he just didn't look that effective. And Sam Amick of The Athletic started asking around, what does this mean for Giannis? Well, here's a direct quote from The Athletic reporter. Said, I asked the front office executive which team Antetokounmpo might end up with if Miami goes on to finish this job and creates havoc for the Milwaukee Bucks. That Eastern Conference executive said the Heat. Now, again, they're playing the Heat right now. I don't think this would be quite like Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors, but it might be pretty darn close in a lot of people's eyes. When you already got a star like Jimmy Butler, you got Bam Adebayo, you got Tyler Hero, you got Duncan Robinson, you got some good pieces. Let's say the Bucks get this inclination, this feeling that Giannis is going to leave for the Heat already in 2021, and they're like, hey, no, we're going to get something for you. We're going to make a trade, and you're going to go to Miami now so that we can get pieces for you later. Well, I cooked up the best trade I could come up with, and I think people on both sides are going to be mad at me. So honestly, I don't care what your opinion is on this one because you're probably going to be mad either way. In this one, the Miami Heat get, obviously, a bona fide star, a top 5 player in the league right now in Giannis Antetokounmpo. That means they have to give up a lot. So I think they give up Bam Adebayo, who is a top 3 most improved player candidate, Tyler Hero, who surprised many people, including myself, in his rookie year, and then they give up Andre Iguodala to make the money work, and not 1 but 2 first-round picks to get the Milwaukee Bucks to say yes to this deal. Now, if either side says no, I think it's probably the Miami Heat. I don't think they want to give up all that and the picks for Giannis. Maybe they'll just wait it out till 2021. But let's say Giannis decides to leave. Let's say he gets bounced out in the second round, and it's kind of inevitable that he's probably not going to stay in Milwaukee any longer because they can't build a championship team around him. Which team should he go to? We're going to have all of that broken down here on Chat Sports all offseason long, so stay tuned, but make your voices heard in the comments section. Now, one thing that I want to remind you about is our friends over at Fanatics that are trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you healthy, and they're trying to help you rep your favorite NBA team by going to chatsports.com/NBA mask. They have all your favorite teams and at great low prices. You can get one mask maybe just for yourself. You can get packs of 2, packs of 3, or best bang for your buck, get a pack of 4. Now, we just talked about the Miami Heat. Guess what? They got Miami Heat masks as well. Whatever team you want, go get one today. We all got to wear masks nowadays, so might as well just get one with your favorite team on it. I already bought mine. I think you guys probably know which team I'm repping on a daily basis. But again, go to chatsports.com/NBA mask. Let's talk about Carmelo Anthony, who, frankly, if you're a loyal watcher here at Chat Sports, if you've been around since last summer, you know that I hated on Carmelo Anthony a lot. I called him washed up. I said he can't play anymore. I said no team should sign him. And here he is with Portland. And I'll say it. I'll give you your round of applause that you deserve, Melo. You've been really good. And I'm really, really sorry for doubting you because he has been a great, really third or sometimes fourth option for this Portland team. And now he's about to hit free agency once again. And I do think he deserves a shot somewhere, and I think that shot may stay with Portland. We'll talk more about why I think that here in just a second. But in his first year, and really only half the year with the Portland Trailblazers, he averaged 15.4 points per game, pulled down 6 rebounds in famous Carmelo Anthony fashion. He also shot better than 38% from 3 and 43% from the field. Now, immediately after Portland was eliminated by the Los Angeles Lakers, he was asked about his impending free agency, and he said, I pray it can be Portland, honestly. I think I found a home in Portland. I got comfortable with the organization. I got comfortable with the guys on the team. They got comfortable with me. And at this point in my career, I do think that is the best fit for me. Now, again, I know I hated on Melo last offseason, but now it's a new Jimmy. Hater Jimmy's still alive and well, but not as much for Carmelo Anthony. I do think he deserves a shot. I think Portland should re-sign him because Portland right now, they got Dame, they got CJ McCollum, they got Yusuf Nurkic. Other than that, there's not a lot of guys that can score the basketball and not make their own shot like Carmelo Anthony still can. Even at 35, 36 years old, this guy can get it done, and he's great as a modern-day power forward. But what do you guys think? Should Portland re-sign Melo? Type Y for yes, or type you're in for no. That's what we do here at Chat Sports. We make things real easy on you. You get to make the votes, and you get to really interact with us because here on Chat Sports, we're the most interactive YouTube channel you'll ever find talking about all the sports all the time. All right, let's go on to Joel Embiid, who I told you we talked about Jimmy Butler, and this is where we're getting to it. Again, Butler put up 40 points against the Milwaukee Bucks. He dominated that game. And his former teammate, Joel Embiid, was real active on social media the night of that. He tweeted out as Jimmy Butler was going off in the end, he tweeted if, capital IF, with 100 periods afterwards, just daydreaming of what could have been. He basically paid his respects to Jimmy Butler, and then social media went crazy, and they started saying, hey, what if Embiid wants to come to Miami and team back up with Jimmy Butler? Well, that's what we're going to talk about here because the people were talking about it, so we're going to talk about it. Now, when they played together in 2018, 2019, of course, it wasn't the full season, but most of the year, Embiid was at the top of his game. I mean, he was a peak performer. He was the best big man in the league. Still might be, according to multiple people. I think it's Jokic, but that's neither here nor there. He put up 28 points per game, pulled down 14 rebounds. He was shooting better than 48% from the field. Jimmy Butler kind of took that sidekick role, but he played it real well. 18 points per game, 5 boards, 4 assists, better than 33% from 3, and the elite defensive wing that we know that he is. So let's say Joel Embiid forces his way to Miami. Here's how it's going to happen. And I know we already did a Miami trade with the Bucks. This one's going to be a little bit different. I got Tyler Hero, Iggy, and Kelly Olynyk instead of Bam Adebayo. The money still works here, and still 2 first-round picks. So a great young rookie who can help the 76ers space the floor because we all know that's what they need. They need a guy that can shoot. That's what Tyler Hero does. You get a veteran and guy who makes the money work in Iggy, and same with Kelly Olynyk, plus 2 first-round picks. You might as well. So what does Miami look like? Well, I'll tell you what. If Miami did this, if they made this trade, if Philly somehow said yes to this, Miami's going to be the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference easily. Kendrick Nunn running the point, who's been a great surprise as a rookie. Jimmy Butler, who is back in his superstar form. Duncan Robinson, who shoots the lights out no matter where he goes. Bam Adebayo, who is a top 3 most improved player candidate and will probably be an all-star again next year. And then Joel Embiid in the middle. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to beat this Miami Heat team. So let's recap that trade real quick. We had Embiid going to the Heat. Tyler Hero, Iggy, Kelly Olynyk going to the Sixers, along with 2 first-round picks, including this year's, and then again in 2025. So who says no to this deal? Type MIA for the Miami Heat. Type PHI for the Philadelphia 76ers. You guys make the votes. If I had to say one says no, I do think it's Philly. I mean, let's face it, Joel Embiid's incredible. Tyler Hero's good, but not this good to land you Embiid. But maybe you disagree. You make the call in the comment section below. Now, if you're a fan of free agency, if you're a fan of the offseason, if you're a fan of the NBA draft, if you're a fan of the NBA playoffs, if you're a fan of the NBA finals, if you're a fan of any NBA team, subscribe to Chat Sports, man. We have so much great NBA coverage 24/7. It's all free. All you got to do is scroll down and hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing. And if you decide to subscribe and then decide you don't like us, that's fine. You can unsubscribe anytime you want. That's also free. But I promise you, you will not regret it. Go hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 200,000 subscribers on this channel. Let's go to Victor Oladipo, our last story of the day. Does he want out of Indiana? There are reports that he is growing increasingly unhappy with the Pacers. Now, he still hasn't fully recovered from that gruesome leg injury that he suffered just a little while back, and people started to speculate that maybe the Pacers pushed him to return before he was ready, much like Kawhi Leonard when he was with the San Antonio Spurs, and they forced him to come back a little early from the shoulder injury. People think the Pacers are doing the same thing. Now, Jay Michael, who is with the Indianapolis Star, he is an insider with the Indiana Pacers. talked to some executives around the league after the Pacers were eliminated by the Miami Heat, and he had this to say. One Eastern Conference executive is betting that the Pacers trade two-time All-Star Victor Oladipo before next season. J. Michael heard from a league source that Oladipo wants out and that there are whispers of the Knicks being a potential trade partner. Now, Oladipo is not the same player he was just last year or even the year before, but there is a lot of recovery that's being built into that leg injury, and I do hope that he gets back because when he's at the top of his game, he's an all-star guard. Now, there have been 4 teams that have already been linked to Victor Oladipo since all of this has started to come out. Miami Heat have been at the top of the list. There have been so many reports that the Heat are interested, and Oladipo's interested in the Heat. The Lakers, always in the middle of every trade rumor. I don't think they have the firepower to do it, but if you want to see how that could happen, go to our Lakers channel. The New Orleans Pelicans have a lot of young pieces that people think they might try to flip for a guard like Oladipo or Bradley Beal. And now this latest report is that the New York Knicks want in on some Victor Oladipo action, and that's where we're going to focus here in just a second. But of those 4 teams, or maybe you've got a wild card team, I've heard some people throw out the Dallas Mavericks, which team should trade for Victor Oladipo? You guys make the call, and you guys put on your GM and owner thinking caps and say, hey, this is who I'm going to trade for Victor Oladipo, so you can make the decision. You pick the team, and then let me know who you think they'll actually give up to get Oladipo. Now, I said he's not the same player. He's definitely not as he was last year or 2017, 2018. Last year, he put up 19 points per game. The year before that, he was at the top of his game at 23 points per game and played in 75 games that year. Year before that, big drop-off, 15 points per game. And now, as he continues to recover and has played very limited action, he's only averaging 14 points per game. But I think Oladipo is going to get back. I do. I think he's going to get back to that 20-point-per-game scorer that we know him as. And if that's the case, I think the Knicks are going to come calling. And if they come calling, they're going to have to offer something somewhat nice to entice Indiana, but maybe not a blockbuster trade. I think this could get it done. Dennis Smith Jr., who's a good project. He's not ready yet, but maybe he can get back if he just has a team to run like the Pacers. Kevin Knox, who I actually still believe in, and I know a lot of Knicks fans agree with me. And then not this year's first-round pick, but next year's first-round pick, who really, even if Victor Oladipo is on the Knicks, that would still probably land around the 15 to 20 range. So still very good value from New York. And if they do it, this Knicks team could look a little different next season. I think they draft Cole Anthony 8th overall. So then you've got your backcourt duo with Cole Anthony and Victor Oladipo running the show. And then R.J. Barrett is a young up-and-coming guard. Julius Randle is good in the right system. Right now he's inconsistent and he's very turnover prone. He handles the ball too much. But now he can just let Oladipo, Cole Anthony, R.J. Barrett run it, and then Mitchell Robinson in the middle. You can bet your bottom dollar if it takes Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., and a 2021 first-round pick, the Knicks are going to be calling the Pacers about a Victor Oladipo trade very, very soon.